Hello my friends, welcome to the Super Machine channel. Today we are going to show you how some of the gigantic Airbus planes are manufactured. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. The Airbus A380 is the largest airliner in the world, a full-length double-deck aircraft. In France, the Oryx insignia of Qatar Airways is spray-painted on the tail fin of their new A380 by workers wearing full-body protective suits. All the components needed to construct the A380 has to be transported to its final place for reattachment. Each segment of the large 262-foot-wide fuselage has to be transferred as abnormal loads at nighttime when traffic is less. The wings and other smaller components alone are transported by a specially designed aircraft called the Airbus A300-600 ST Beluga. The Airbus has to undergo ground vibration testing to confirm there are no flutter issues on the airframe. The hangar in which all this is done is a massive piece of real estate in Hamburg, Germany. The aircraft has been put together, and now it is time for the painting process. Normally, an empty Airbus A380 weighs 628,317 pounds, even less without its paint. The high bypass, 13,770-pound turbofan Rolls-Royce Trent 900 is made by Rolls-Royce plc to power the Airbus A380. The Airbus A380 took its first flight on April 27, 2005 before first being purchased by Singapore Airlines in 2007. To produce the components for an A380 takes 3 to 6 months, but the final assembly takes about a week to complete. The test flight takes place after completion to confirm the aircraft is ready for its new customer. Airbus is able to produce 12 to 30 A380 aircraft every year based on requirement and overall demand. The green color of the Airbus is not its final look. Now comes the preparation for applying the paint to the fuselage, wings and engines. The entire 38,000 square foot surface of an A380 requires 950 gallons of paint, and the weight of a typical coat of paint is 1.400 pounds. The entire paint job from start to finish takes about 2 weeks to complete. A primer, base coat, and clear coat, and a paint layer with a thickness of 0.2 millimeters can increase the weight of the aircraft by up to 1,433 pounds. The significant increase in aircraft weight that results from applying many coats of paint is the primary motivation for using white. Paintings with intricate designs take longer to complete because artists must apply the finishing touches by hand with paintbrushes. In comparison to a basic design, a complicated design is more expensive, and a wide-body aircraft will typically cost around $200,000 to paint. Protective clothing is of the utmost importance with so many painters working together, with toxic fumes filling the hangar. Getting the design right takes the utmost planning and coordination for the painting crew. Once the painting is done, the paint job has to be buffed to provide that sleek, shiny new aircraft look. Lastly, all the decal protective layers are removed to bring the full design to life. Being the largest passenger aircraft ever built, the Airbus A380 is able to carry 575 passengers, but can carry as many as 853. The A380 was used by 11 airlines at its peak, with Emirates being its greatest supporter, with 119 aircraft. The interiors of the A380 is just as important as its technical abilities, with each aircraft being outfitted with custom interiors for its clients. Each A380 has nearly 300 miles of electrical connections and cabling, and installing them causes considerable production delays. Each A380 has 4 million parts from 1,500 businesses in 30 nations. The seats for use in the A380 are built to safety specifications to ensure the safety of all passengers on board. This is the only airplane with more than 500 seats and significant profitability. With up to 19 inches more space in economy class, it offers a bigger cabin with wider seats. A crew of highly skilled technicians from all over Europe put together every part of the aircraft. The A380's main deck cabin is 20 inches wider than the Boeing 747s, and the top deck cabin is 71 inches wider. For companies like Qatar Airlines, it is all about the luxury experience, so every care is taken to give a tailor-made experience. The installation of all types of amenities to make the trip more memorable is important, but safety still takes precedence. The A380's HEPA filters eliminate 99.9% of airborne particles, including bacteria and virus clusters. The A380 has a separate onboard premium lounge and a tri-class seating arrangement with first business and economy class seats spread across 2 decks. In comparison to other big aircraft, the A380 requires takeoff and landing strips that are 984 feet shorter. The Beluga is a modified version of the normal, a 300-600 wide-body airliner designed to transport large cargo and aircraft parts. The payload is more than doubled, and the volume more than tripled when compared to the NASA Super Guppy. As a new supertransporter supporting the ramp-up of the A350 and other production rate increased, Airbus introduced the Beluga XL in late 2014. The 5-member Belugast fleet will progressively be replaced by the Belugaxle, which will operate between 11 locations across Europe. The final assembly line for the Belugaxle is in Toulouse, France, and it is mainly produced to transport Airbus parts. The cockpit of the Belugaxle is lower, with a framework that is vastly increased in size, and the rear and tail portion have been redesigned. As opposed to the Beluga Street, which only has room for one set of a 350 aircraft wings, the Beluga XL can hold 2 sets. Everything about the Beluga XL draws attention to the fact that it is one of the aircraft with the highest volume capacity currently in production. The barrel parts that make up the fuselage can be cut more easily and be put together as half-barrel pieces. Exact engineering comes into play as the massive nose cone door is attached. Part of the foundation of Airbus's global competitiveness is its over 48,000 French employees, excluding 15,000 other workers. The Rolls-Royce Trent 700 engines are the same as used in the A380, and these produce 71,100 pounds of thrust. The massive scale of the Beluga XL becomes even more apparent when you realize it is 62 feet high. Final assembly lines for the whole line of commercial Airbus jetliners can be found in the vicinity of Toulouse-Blagnac Airport. Testing of the airframe and systems is an ongoing process to ensure only the best and safest quality product is produced. The Airbus Training Center nearby has full flight simulators and trains maintenance employees and performance and operational staff. A single vertical fin and twin horizontal stabilizers are installed with 2 supplementary vertical tailplane end fins in the tail portion. "20,000 people got to vote as to what kind of paint job should be applied on the Beluga XL. The smiley face of a beluga whale won by about 40% of the votes. Artists employed by Airbus are responsible for the detail painting of the aircraft where machines are insufficient. IT's AFT section is based on the A300 and 3300, and its forward section on the A300 and 3200 for center of gravity considerations. A crew of 3 people consisting of 2 pilots and a loadmaster is responsible for the operation of the Beluga XL. The aircraft has a typical Airbus jetliner cockpit layout, making it easier to train Airbus pilots familiar with other Airbus airliners. The first flight of the Beluga was another milestone in the lives of thousands who worked on the project.